4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Okay, hello, internet world. It's Norma Joe. I'm in my pajamas and wet hair. I just got out of the bath. Baths are so much better than showers. It's so funny, when you're a kid, I think usually the story goes, you start with baths, and then you want to go up to showers, because showers is like the next level. But then after you've been showering for a while, you realize that showers are, not as good as baths. They're inadequate. Yeah, that's the word. They're incomparable. Even if you do pee in the bath and you sit in your own pee, whatever. Pee is mostly protein and apparently sterile. That's what the old trope from Fight Club was. Baths are just so much better. You soak and all the soap goes off you and you don't have to stand under the shower for like hella long trying to get it all off. Anyways, where was I? Here. I believe this was where I was at. He, Kurt, blew a bubble, which in a matter of seconds was giant. I couldn't help but stare. That is, up until it popped and Kurt got pink gooey stuff all over his face. Ha ha ha, karma, like, totally works. Little spider babies jumped out of the popped bubble and onto the floor. Ew. Turning, oh yeah, because it was, a piece of gum that was stuck under the table. And onto the floor, turning into embers and setting the room on fire. Oh my god. Hey, someone said, I think the floor is on fire. The floor is on fire. The blaze crept up the window blinds, and the minute it hit cabinet number 3, it was all over for our school. Where it used to be, there was now just a charred hole in the ground. I understood then what he meant by world domination. Okay, that was a lie, and not just the part about me understanding something. The whole damnin' thing. Let's go back to where accepted reality ended. World domination. You're, like, pretty crazy, aren't you? Yes, I've hugged myself for 3 days straight at a time, Kurt answered in a deadbeat voice. Like, seriously? What do you think? Before I could even think of an answer, he slipped off his chair and went rummaging through the back closet. He came back a moment later with a little jar of something that looked like water. What's like that? No idea. He set it on the desk. You want to drink it and find out? Oh my god. No! Besides, the teacher, said not to mess with, anything. Since when are you a brown noser? I mean, I know you're a stoner, but a kiss up too? Shut up. I'll shut up when you drink it. This is, deadly. No way, come on, no, yeah, no. Yeah. No. He gave me a creepy sideways look. I didn't like that look. It was the look of someone who was about to force you to drink something. Ew. I feel like that's hard to do, but you can do it. I don't know. What if I forced you to drink it? You wouldn't, dare. Wanna bet? Before I could even respond, he jumped on top of me and tackled me to the floor. He wasn't actually doing anything but trying to keep me pinned, but I was struggling for my life to get up. Ah, rape, rape, rape! And it was at that moment that the teacher decided to come back. Catalano, Cobain, get up off the floor. I can't leave this class for 10 minutes before you creatures get started on something crazy. I swear, is this a high school or the back alleys of Bangkok? Oh my god, I have a story to tell us. I'll make a separate video. She walked over to us as we got back to our seats. And what is this doing on the desk? She said before picking up the little cup and gulping the stuff down. Oh my god. Sulfuric acid. She tossed it out the window and casually went up to the chalkboard. We looked at each other in disbelief. I just saw a movie where they were in chemistry class and they switched a jar with sulfuric acid to burn a girl. That's just fucked up. That's just you cannot be trusting these high school kids with dangerous chemicals. That's just asking for it. If you have dangerous chemicals, you should have it, I think they should have, you rent them. You don't just keep them in the school. I think you should rent them, and they come in, a fucking armored car, and some other weirdo, this guy, or woman, or non-binary, or anything, whatever, in uniform comes in with a fucking, AR-15 and stands at the front of the class while the teacher's doing experiments, so if anyone tries to get the acid, they'll get shot. Where was I? So today, class, we will be studying acids and bases, of course. Do you think that's where the name Ace of Base comes from? Because it's whoa, when you look at the words acid and base, it kind of looks like Ace of Base. That's cool, right? Anyways, later in detention. Detention sucks. Not that I had any other place to be, and it would protect me from accidentally running into Ray, but still, it was the chi of the place. I don't think Jordan knows what chi is. And the fact that the principal had said he wanted us all to write essays by the end of the day. Ugh. Didn't that used to be like the worst fucking thing? It's like 5 paragraphs! Now I feel like 5 paragraphs is like nothing. Which is why I want to go back to school, but not right now. Where was I? Damn it. This was that stupid Kurt's fault. And he wasn't even here. Punk. It was just me, Rayanne. Rayanne? Oh, she must have got in trouble for something else. Some jock and his girlfriend, and Krakow. Oh, I get it, because this is supposed to be... Yeah. I forgot about Krakow. He's like that, like, nerdy Jewish kid, right? Or something like that. I was looking around at all of them. I wasn't surprised to see Rayanne, but what did the brain, the athlete, and the princess do to end up here? It sounds like the fucking Dark Zodiac. Hey, there's a picture of bologna on that statue. Oh, a piece of bologna on that statue, remarked Rayanne. That's another movie that has to go on the list. So let me add that real quick. The list of movies that I don't think are that great. I probably have 10 at this point. Okay. Where was I? I'm bored, the other girl complained. Can we skip the part where we all say why we're here and just go have fun already? Oh, Jordan's curiosity will never be satiated. Sounds good to me, said her boyfriend. And me. We all agreed. I went to the door and glanced out into the hall. You know what's funny? The one and only time I've watched The Breakfast Club was in 8th grade. I don't even remember which teacher showed it to us, but it was like near the end of the school year, you know, when the teachers are kind of like, just like letting you party and shit like that and have free time. And the teacher was like, oh, here, I'll show you guys a movie, and it was The Breakfast Club, because, you know, the teacher probably fucking thought the movie was so fucking great. Anyway, they were like, oh, this is like something from my childhood. Okay, well, I'm glad it makes you happy, but honestly, I think it fucking sucks. And everyone called me fucking Ally Sheedy for fucking ever after that, seeing that. Because I was made fun of in school. Of course, they lump us all together. Anyway. At least she's like the least annoying character in the movie. Because she doesn't say anything. Everybody else sucks more. And I like the part where, I think it's, what's his face? Charlie Sheen's brother brings a gun to school or something like that. Or maybe it was the other kid. I don't remember. Okay, where was I? And me, we all agreed. I went to the door and glanced out into the hall. The chicken has, like, left the barn, I whispered to them. What are you talking about? The jock asked. Yeah, and why are you... And it's just, like, Jock. Like, not any personality. Like, not a real character. Just, like, a cardboard cutout. Yeah, and why are you whispering? Said Rayanne. I thought I was supposed to be the basket case. You just stick to criminalizing. The pencil's kind of rubbed off. We all went out to the hall and stole anything that wasn't nailed down. Well, not really. We just opened all the lockers that didn't have locks on them and then met back up by the front door. I, like, found this one that said, your mom likes booty, in it. Okay, I found one that says, you'll die in 7 days, said Brian. Your booty-liking mom will die in 7 days, Rayanne blurted out. We all stared at her. What? Just being the weirdo. There was a pause. Hey, said the jock, you want to smoke some pot? I think it's actually kind of funny that if, like, it's kind of like a Black Mirror type of situation where just because they are designated a certain character, they almost kind of, like, get possessed by, by that, you know, and they have to do that even though it's not the way they usually are. 5 minutes later. Ah, ha, ha. I, like, totally found you, Brian. You're it. Jordan, that's a chair. That would never happen when you're stoned. Must have been laced. I turned around. See, it's, like, funny, like, before you ever smoke weed, you think, like, you have one idea of what being high is like. I think everybody, like, most kids, like, after you learn about drugs, but before you actually do drugs, I think kids mostly think everything is, like, stereotypical acid. Like, it's like, you see all these colors and like you see, like, things morphing, and, like, it's kind of like that one episode of Rugrats when Chucky, like, loses his glasses, and he sees everything in the room, like, transform into monsters and stuff like that and start coming after him. Like, I feel like everyone thinks that's what it's like, or, like, when Dumbo gets drunk, and he sees, like, I think people think that's, like, what happens to you, you know? But you know what's funny is that, like, I had heard for so many years, like, since college and stuff, people were taking acid, but I didn't, and they would be like, yeah, acid isn't really like, you know, what you see in the movies. It's more just like you have a lot of thoughts and stuff. And then later, when I started being a pothead, I was like, well, that's just weed to me. Like, made my thoughts go fucking crazy and see things in a whole new light. But, I guess maybe acid is just the same thing but more. But then, when I went to Sacramento, there was this drug dealer there that everyone used to get acid from. And everybody said, oh, he's the best, he's the best. And they were like, his weed actually, one of my coworkers was like, his weed actually makes you see things just like in the movies. So, I guess it is possible. Anyways, where was I? Jordan, that's the chair. I turned around fast, trying to pinpoint where the voice had come from, but I couldn't really concentrate. Hide-and-seek tag on drugs had to be the most intense game ever. Even more intense than drag racing. Oh yeah, he was into that in the show, huh? All of a sudden, the jock's girlfriend bolted past me. She was trying to get back to... I swear to God, in my future stories, I will never use the word bolted ever again. It just seems like the perfect word, but it's just so overused. She was trying to get back to base, the baloney statue in the library, but there was no way I was letting, her get away. I raced after her and leapt onto her back, tackling her to the floor. Ah, help! A dinosaur's tackling me! Ah! I think I broke a nail. Sorry, princess, but you don't, like, try to escape from a young wolf on the hunt. Now it's, like, your turn. Just then, Brian and Rance, ran straight past us. We glanced at each other. He just got a bunch of hair in my lipstick. Have you ever been, if you have a cat with long hair like I do, you ever been eating some food and your cat casually walks by and just, like puts their tail in your food? Like a bowl of cereal or something, or soup or something? Like, they're walking, like, here, and their tail's like this, and they're just, like, with their tail, like, in your bowl. Like, what an asshole! And then sometimes the cat sits on your lap, and they put, like, this is the bowl right here, they put their nose, like, under the bowl, like they want to be pet, and they just go, like, and, like, try to make you spill it. That's him right here. Look at him. Quincy! Hi, baby. Aww, my baby. Okay. Where was I? Just then, Brian and Rayanne ran straight past us. We glanced at each other. Take him down, we called in unison before following in hot pursuit. They ran to the end of the hallway where the jock banged into Rayanne, running the opposite way. Shh, turn back, he whispered, flailing his arms around like a mad cow. The principal's over there. I remember was there some cartoon, I don't remember which one, but it was like it was like just a bunch of puns, basically visual puns. And it must have been like a Disney cartoon or something. And like, it was like hoof and mouth disease, but it was hoof in mouth disease. So basically the cow was sitting like a human, and its leg was like, it was like its leg had like a spring, and it kept going like uncontrollably, so its foot was like going in its mouth. And then the farmer, who's probably Mickey Mouse or something like that, was trying to make it eat and couldn't, and then he put like a bunch of hay on the cow's foot, and it like catapulted the hay into the cow's mouth, and then the cow was happy. I remember that. Okay, where am I? We all turned and fled like wild animals back to the library. We flopped down into our seats. Brian grabbed a piece of paper and started to write. What a loser. You're like a loser, Brian. I whispered. Oh, you're like a loser, Brian. I whispered to him across the table. Say that again. When I'm a successful doctor and married to a beautiful redhead, and you're selling your heroin-addicted body in the middle of the gas station, or stealing your mom's TV, or any of the rest of the shit that goes on in that movie. I was about to respond to that, and with something really smart-sounding, too, but at that moment the principal came in, and we all had to act natural. Working industriously, I see. Or at least suffering. When I come back, again, I hope to see you all like this. What a douche, I mumbled. What was that, Catalano? I looked up with my most innocent face. Don't, like, look at me, sir. I didn't, like, say anything. I can't even imagine. I mean, I know that people will say, you're so fucking spoiled. Meaning that I've had a decent life, and they haven't. So it has nothing to do with being spoiled. It's just a matter of what's right and wrong in this world. But, anyway, I can't imagine fucking being in a situation where you're actually expected to call your teacher, like, sir and ma'am and all that shit. Like, that is just... Look, I was born in the year 1990, and I'm from California. San Francisco on top of that. So, fucking bite me in my fat ass. It's the way it should be. Everybody should get to experience never having to call your teacher sir or ma'am. It's not like we were calling them, like, it's not like we were fucking, like, dominating our teachers or something. Like, it's the same everywhere else, but, you know, we just call them, like, they tell us at the beginning of the school year, call me Mr. such and such, or Miss or Mrs. such and such, or whatever they want to be called, you know. They write it on the board. That's what everybody calls them for all time. There's no sir, madam, ma'am, or none of this fucking military bullshit. It's unneeded and unwanted. Okay, where was I? I'll look at you if I want, boy. With your sweet face and your young, slender body. Oh, God. Okay, he didn't really say that. Oh, I forgot how many, like, fake-outs there are in the story. It's like a fucking episode of Scrubs. It'd be too scary for words if he said that. And what we humans like to call reality. He just stayed quiet and walked out the door. That's what I call criminalizing, said Rayanne. I'm bored again, said the other. It's like, it's been a fucking second. It's kind of realistic, though. She's just, like, full of, like, impatientness. I'm bored again, said the other girl. What do you guys want to do? Well, this is a library, answered Brian. We could read. Has your braininess gone... It's funny, because now that I've seen, Escape from New York, I think of Brain from that. But then there's also Brain from Arthur. Yeah. Has your braininess gone to your sense of reality? Rand snapped. We are practically the poster children for kids who think books are lame. Books aren't lame. Look at what I'm reading. Books are cool. I don't even think caveman over there can read. Wasn't there an episode about how Jordan can't read? I assume he has dyslexia or something, but I could be wrong. I didn't watch it, because, like I said, I didn't think I liked the show. She who shalt attempt to form reality by means of her own mortal mind and assumptions shall be made a fool, he replied. Okay, maybe not. That's really funny, actually. I wasn't talking about those books, said Brian. I meant the ones that kids aren't supposed to check out. We all stared at him. What? 5 minutes later. Everything's always 5 minutes later. Wow, is that, like, position even... What, isn't there a fucking, George Carlin skit about that? About how everything is 5 minutes? It's like, that's basically, like, the stand-in for, like, anything. Like, just give me 5 minutes. Like, I remember that being a skit. I have to look that up after I'm done here. I love George Carlin so much. Okay, 5 minutes later. Wow, is that, like, position even, like, possible? Man, if they only had the internet now, they'd be so oversaturated, they wouldn't even give a fuck. Rayanne, who was sitting on top of the desk I was under, tossed her magazine over her shoulder, bored. And this shit doesn't really do anything for me. She glanced around the room. Hey, what do you say we switch clothes? What do you say we, like, don't? Come on, criminal. Don't chicken out. I pulled off my shirts and jeans, and shirts, multiple, and jeans, and tossed them up to her. He's just like, yeah, okay, I'll just take off all my clothes. That's fine. And she dropped down her, t-shirt, skirt, and jacket. It was kind of hard to get her clothes on under the desk, but the skirt was very liberating. Once you go skirt, you never go back. I crawled out from underneath and posed for her. How do I look? Like a bohemian goddess. Really? No. So she's just bad-mouthing her own taste then. She posed on the desk. How about me? You look like a mafia grunt who, like, works at the gas station. Wait, is that what I look like? She looked down at her body. I don't know, I think it's pretty sexy. Hey, where's, like, your bra? A stony look came into her hazel eyes. You mean those male chauvinist shackles made to shame a woman's natural beauty and bind her back into the dark ages. The fetters that the male pig, in his fear of all things he does not understand, seeks to use to restrain and destroy anything that dares to prove itself as greater than he. Oh my god, okay.